Welcome to another edition of Business and Personal Podcast, where we bring it closer to the people that you do business with. And excited today to have Alex Dusza on with us. He is the managing partner of Move Detroit, doing some amazing things with physical therapy and many other things that we'll get into. But first of all, Alex, thanks for hustling. You had to hustle and hit the road to get here to record this. So I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. I'm happy to be here and happy to join you on the podcast and be able to just share kind of what we've been working on.
All right, so it's the business and the personal podcast. So tell us a little bit about Alex and what eventually led you to move.
Yeah, so long story short, I am a physical therapist. So I went to Wayne State for my doctorate in physical therapy. Right after Wayne State, I started in a outpatient ortho clinic, which if you guys aren't in the realm of physical therapy, basically that is everything, injury related, sports related. I was more so in a chain type clinic, so I didn't get to have as much one-on-one care with my patients. But I was there for a year. Um, just didn't seem right for me. And my coworker at the time, me and him had kind of a vision. And then his partner at the time, them two actually started Move Detroit and did community-based workouts. So I was kind of venturing in with them a little bit, and we all just gelled well and had an idea and a vision, and the right doors open, and that's kind of what started Move Detroit. So.
Absolutely love that. That's the American dream. I've had a lot of people on this podcast that were, kind of working under someone else and then just decided they wanted to do it better, on their own. So
Yeah.
much kudos to you for taking that leap.
Thank you.
So physical therapy and has so many different layers to it and different things that you can do. But just in a general sense, let people know the services that you offer.
Yeah, so physical therapy is like you said, a very broad term. I like to classify my sessions more as like a modern physical therapy or like a specialized physical therapy. It's a lot different than what you would typically see. I think a lot of people when they hear physical therapy in their mind, they think of, like an older lady that's kind of in a room pushing around a rubber band, right? Or doing something like that. And to be honest, it's not at all what we do at Move Detroit. The physical therapy that I do with my clients is more so like a personal training-esque session. It's molded to a patient and their individual deficits. So it's based on, what we need to work on with them, getting symptoms down if they do have symptoms, but then ultimately loading that patient up, getting them in, getting them stronger, working on their goals that they want to do. So it's kind of multifactorial, but the biggest thing is ultimately getting that person, better, getting them stronger, rather than just trying to give them some fluff and give them some generic exercises that's not really going to get them to their goals, if that makes sense.
Everybody's genetic makeup is entirely different, as you're well aware. Everybody that comes through has different challenges and issues that they are facing. What does an initial evaluation look like? What are some of the things that you're looking for, and what are the things you're usually able to detect?
Yeah, so initial evaluation is honestly the most important visit. It's the most boring for people, but the
Mhm.
most important. First session, I am going through head to toe approach, so a very comprehensive assessment. So I'm looking at a person, I'm seeing where they move well, where they might not move as well. I'm looking at strength ratios, so I'm seeing, okay, this guy has a really strong movement here in their right shoulder, but let's say their left shoulder, they're really weak here, they're not able to do this. So I'm trying to analyze symmetry based on side to side, look on strength measurements. And then the biggest thing too is getting people up and moving, getting them off the table. So I'll go through different functional assessments, squats, overhead squats, step ups. Um, I'll go through some different overhead testing for my shoulder patients, neck testing. So it's a very comprehensive examination, but the biggest thing is to identify red flags. Based on those red flags, that's kind of how I construct the exercises that are specific to them. And that's really how I construct the rest of the plan going forward. So, like I said, that first session is crucial for the rest of their plan of care because without that, I would be really shooting in the dark. I wouldn't have anything based on them, specific to them to give them. So that first session is really what gives me valuable tools to then get them better and stronger based on what they need specific to their body.
And I think goals are probably very important in the process because physical therapy, let's be honest, it's a grind. It can be a thing can be hard for people to get motivated to do. But what keeps them motivated is when they see progress with their goals. So is it kind of a combination between you and the patient where you try to figure out where they want to be, you do the evaluation, and you come up with a realistic path for them?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's always a discussion between myself and the patient. It's never me saying, okay, you got to do this and we'll do this and we'll do this. It's always a discussion. I'm always asking a person, every session, checking in with them, seeing, is this still the goal? Is this still what we're working toward? Is this still what we want? Just constantly checking in with my patient, always testing, retesting to ensure that we're making results that they want to be made and that I want to be made. So it's definitely a team effort in terms of therapy. It's by no means a one man show.
And I don't think people realize how all the parts of the body work together, and some of the smallest things can make the biggest difference. Do you notice that people oftentimes are surprised after that initial evaluation and not realizing the smallest little tweak can make a big difference?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. A lot of times we're going through stuff, or I'll use a little tool that provides me with it analyzes force, so I'm able to get objective numbers to see how a person is strong is. So a lot of times we'll look at someone's knee, for example, and they might get a really high score on their right knee and get a pretty low score on their left knee, and that just gives us validation to say, okay, there's things here we need to work on. It's not, I never want to blow it out of proportion because it can be a point where it overwhelms a person. But it just gives us those things that we are aware of and then we can work on, and it gives us both a perspective, but it can definitely shock some people.
So, youth sports is crazy nowadays. I mean, you see kids starting at younger and younger ages, and they're playing sports all hours of the night sometimes. There's no off season anymore. The wear and tear on kids is just outrageous, and it's painful for me to see so many young athletes go through injuries that I feel like a lot of times are just because of wear and tear. Um, what would you be your advice to parents that are getting their kids started into youth sports at a young age to incorporate, even if there's not an injury, just from a recovery standpoint, to incorporate physical therapy as part of their routine?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's sports nowadays is at a level that I've never seen. I mean, I thought it was hectic for me when I was a kid playing baseball, but now it's through the roof. So it's crucial for parents to make sure that their kids are doing some sort of strength training to first and foremost. So I'm always asking my kids, especially girls. Girls don't always get the attention they deserve with coaches and whatnot. I'm always asking them, okay, is your coach having you doing strength training? If you are doing strength training, what does that look like? Does that mean we hit it once a month? Is that once a week? Are we hitting like an upper lower? Just trying to see what they're doing on a regular basis. Resistance training, strength training is crucial for people in sport, for kids in sport, because if they're not training their tissues, they're most likely not going to be ready when they exert their tissues in sport. Um, so, like I said, first and foremost, strength training is huge. Get your kids involved, get them moving some weight, obviously safely. And then if people are able to invest in a good physical therapist and coaching, it is an investment, but if you at least get them in, you find out, what your kid specifically needs based on their body, we can then tailor it and then provide a student tools that they can use for the rest of their life. So I was tell my parents it's not, think of it more so as an investment for those kids to have to use for the rest of their life, learning how to move their body, learning how to move their body safely, and then learning how to warm up properly for their sport or sport specific exercises. So it's an investment that really does go a long way rather than just the short term benefit.
I'm sure it's the last thing that a parent wants to hear when they're forking over all this money already for youth sports, but you know what? Making those investments beats the heck out of costs of surgeries or just the mental pain and strain of being sidelined. It's you might as well just mix it in with part of all your costs of playing sports if that's what you're going to do.
Right, right, because it's I was there. I was an athlete. All my kids now, it's frustrating when they're going through these injuries when they could have been avoided. And obviously, we can't prevent everything. You never know. It's life. But we try to the best of our ability to prime the athlete and get them to the best of their ability, strength wise, mobility wise, and go from there. So it's frustrating when there's things that there could have been done beforehand, but just weren't done.
And I'm always interested in how a business name evolved or came about and how what sparked that idea. Obviously, it makes sense. Move makes sense for what you do. You're trying to get people to move easier, but how did it come to, how did you come to the decision of that name? Was it something that just sparked it?
Yeah, good question. So my two partners, Logan and Jordan, actually came up with the name. So they came up with this about a year and a half ago. And when Move Detroit first started, it was more community based. So Logan and Jordan would go around to different gyms or different banks, private businesses, and basically do a community-based workout for free for everyone. Just get the community there, bring in some local vendors, and just a good way to get people moving. So that was kind of where the name came from, moving around, community-based, and they were doing it in Detroit. And then that's kind of when I joined them and created the more one-stop shop we're looking for to encompass strength, recovery, nutrition, everything all in one.
Yeah, and you also have some fitness opportunities as well beyond just the physical therapy. So, what exactly do you have to offer with it?
Yeah, we like to say it's Move Detroit as a one-stop shop, so we encompass all aspects. So someone comes in, we have personal training, we have group classes, we have a sauna and a cold plunge, and then the physical therapy realm as well. So like I said, it's we wanted to create a place that people don't have to go to all these different places, right? So if you're
Yeah.
working out, you're having fun, you're getting stronger, something happens, we can immediately step in, take care of it in terms of physical therapy or identifying what's going on, get you back moving. It's just a place that we want to obviously get everyone moving, get them stronger, but also have them safe at the same time.
So, when do you offer those classes?
Yeah, so we have those classes Monday through Saturday. Monday through Thursday, we have 6:30 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and then 5:30 p.m. And then we have some different class schedules on Friday and Saturday, but 6 days a week.
Awesome. Well, hey, I always like to close, Alex, with a success story and then a positive note. I know you're still kind of new, but has there been a success story? Maybe getting somebody back on the field that really makes you happy, makes you smile.
Yeah, so I would say I'm working with a soccer player right now. He's probably dealt with ankle injuries on both ankles for 5 to 6 years now. So it's frustrated the hell out of him throughout the past 5 to 6 years. It's limited him in his sport. He plays soccer at OU, Oakland University, so top tier soccer, and we've had a ton of success recently. It was either surgery or stem cells. So he ended up getting stem cells about 3 to 4 weeks ago. And I've been working with him pretty rigorously 3 times a week. And in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks, we've gotten him. I just took him out to the field last week and we were doing some return to sport, cutting, sprinting, agility work, change in direction work, which is awesome to be able to do because most physical therapists don't have the liberty to take their athletes on the field. And that's ultimately where you learn the most about them. So I got to take him out there and he performed extremely well. And he's back, in 4 weeks' time where it probably should have been 1 to 2 months' time. Um, so that doctor's happy. I'm happy. He's obviously thrilled to be back to his sport in a couple weeks now. So I would say that's a pretty cool story that's been going on for a long, long time, but getting a lot better.
That's just awesome, man. I mean, the help that you provide physically is obvious, right? But I think the mental part too is so important. I mean, sports is such a big part of our lives, and just the mental trauma that kids can go through, or even adults, I guess, not just kids, when they're sidelined, it's rough.
It's rough.
So I can only imagine how satisfying that is to see athletes get back on the field.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's one of the best things, and seeing them out there, when they're moving and actually playing their sport, you see a smile on their face, and it's like I said, it's very fulfilling and it's very cool to be able to witness them do that.
Well, hey, anybody that's still listening, Alex, is interested in what you have to offer. So, what's the best way for them to get in touch, learn more, maybe schedule some time with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're on Instagram, Move Detroit, and then underscore. You can follow us on Instagram. Myself, I'm on Instagram as well under Alex Dusza 8, number 8. Um, our website is kind of it's rough right now. We're still working on that aspect. So Instagram, Facebook, all of those are good ways to get in contact with us. We always reach out personally to everyone. So any of those domains are great for reaching out to us.
And if someone wants to old school make a phone call, what's the number to call?
Yeah, they can call my personal, so 586-255-7164 to get in touch.
Awesome. Well, keep up the great work, Alex. Very cool what you're doing there. And, maybe we'll have you on down the road for an update.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you having me on. It was a pleasure.